Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2 from the Into the Alpha X Pro Series. A Pro Series indeed, a best of 5 between two of Korea's former best, and now competing with the rest to reclaim and maybe pass the test. Like and subscribe. Of course, the best Clem cosplayer outside of France. Shopify Rebellion's former world champion. It's Byun. And on the other side of the story, a former Brood War professional, one of the top StarCraft 2 players of all time, and back once again to try to reclaim that status. Especially in a time where consistent Protoss players are few and far between. Dragon, Phoenix Gamings will never get old. herO. A best of 5 for this match. Another one of the many small weekly and monthly events. Hundreds of dollars on the line. So many good games for the fans. There's no way to keep up, but I try. Kicking things off, relatively standard. We got plenty of games to go. Oxide, somewhat defensive. We're going to run through all the caster things. Looks like walling off on the high ground. You got a ramp leading up to your natural. herO is scouting for Reapers, but we can go over the Reaper, anti-Reaper meta. But it looks like Byun and many Terrans lately have avoided the Reaper wall on the high ground, such as it is, by simply not building a Reaper, which has seemed to be a relatively reliable strat, and the SCV scouts scouted that there is an expansion on the way, so that's a bit of a giveaway. Byun, a reactor, and a factory behind it. As this is about as safe and standard as it gets. Settling. We got a hopefully lengthy series ahead of us between these two. I think of them both as mid-game players, historically. Byun, also on occasion, has been a very early game player. But that like 50 to 150 supply, multitasking timings, not so much the like sitting back and mining out the map and seeing who comes out on top. Oracle is the choice. One of the safest, a little brittle in the sense that if you get an Oracle and you use it early on, if you end up losing it, that's most of your early scouting and defense. Especially when combined with 3 Adepts. Well, those Marines coming in realize they've bitten off definitely more than they can chew, but take a bite out of one of the Adepts. There should be somewhat of a giveaway here as to what's happening. You don't usually make 3 Adepts without that Stargate. We're going to play the old-fashioned favorite game of everyone, which is there a Widow Mine? The answer? Yes. So, at the end of this movie, it looks like everyone will die. Byun trying to scramble. Will he be able to save the mine? Keeping the mine alive. Oh! herO decides that his Adept is more valuable than killing the mine. So losing the very first Oracle as well as the Adepts. How many worker kills? One SCV. So not the critical damage I think herO was hoping for. A bit of an unforced error. The Widow Mine is not... It is by far not an unlikely choice. Which was a very unwieldy set of words, but... Widow Mines are probably the most common opener against Protoss. So just kind of blundering into it like that. So that Widow Mine burrowed right underneath the SCV. One of those other clever tactics. Oh. Byun picks out a couple more mines. Slurps them up into the medevac. And he's got an armory on the way. Cyclone has to take a different path here. The armory is going to make it... Actually, is there any detection? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's a bit of a gamble to go for the armory this... I guess late. On the later side. It wasn't the plan to start, but... There's actually no detection at all. The Oracle died, and with it was any hope of detecting these mines. A robotics facility on the way. There are cannons coming up. A forge is complete. I guess the fact he can build cannons is the only saving grace. He's minimized damage for now. So this has done about as little as it could. And the medevac goes down. So Byun, not really finding a lot of success with the mine drops, despite no detection. Getting the forge in a timely manner definitely helping out. But there's... will the Widow mine fire again? The answer? No. The second mine, herO timing it out well. He knows how to count down the 32 seconds or so it is. I mean, originally it was like 45, but since we use real time now, all the numbers got thrown off. Just the short story is back in the day in Brood War, normal time in StarCraft, like 1 second was 1 second, and the Koreans were like, screw that, we're gonna play on fastest, which was like 1.4 times the speed of normal. And that is why all the timers that were like 50, 100 seconds got thrown off when we converted finally with Legacy of the Void back into what we like to know as Earth time, or normie time, as opposed to StarCraft time. The amount of actual physical time is the same. It's just the clean 50, 100 seconds have been recalculated. Beyond 46 workers up against 58. He's trying to do some damage to herO. Vikings working around the edges. Ah, yes. We have the classic Terran move. Byun, probably the most likely to do this. But 2 medevacs, and Marines, Marauders. There might be a Widow mine in there. We will see as they drop out. Nope, Marines and Marauders. Just Blink Stalkers to deal with it. No shield batteries I can see. Some Zealots warped in. They don't have charge, but they do take a lot of damage. That means all of this is going to be shut down. A recall to the third. Down go the batteries. There may be enough army to deal with this. Byun sacrifices the 2 medevacs at units in the main in order to get some damage at the third. The Stalkers, not good for much more than picking off small amounts of defenseless units. Not so great in a heads-up brawl. And with a couple medevacs at the back and the sacrifice of 11 Valiant probes, herO will be able to defend. The lack of charge and the commitment to Blink Stalkers has made this a little dicier than maybe it would be otherwise. Charge now on the way. Thing is, though, Byun is on borrowed time. As herO continues to work up the tech tree in the Colossi and charge loss, and as he continues to pump out of the gateway, not an unhealthy gateway count, he's looking at 7, going on 8 alongside the Colossi, and +2. The time for Byun to really outmaneuver that unit composition, especially if herO is diligent about scouting. He knows the map is dark and full of Terrans. Well, Byun knows. Not Byun. herO knows. He's actually lining up his observers to have perfect vision. On the right flank, he's got a Zealot patrolling on the left. That Zealot not going to last forever, but his job will be done. He catches a tiny glimpse, and Byun makes sure he catches a little more. Charge still 3/4 of the way done. Byun going to come right up the center here, trying to open up an opportunity. herO knows exactly what's going on here. Only 1 Colossus, no extended thermal lance. Widow mines finding some connection, decent spread, helped a little by the force fields. Marauders at the back, another Widow mine across the board. Thing is, though, Marauders aren't going to be enough. 2 Colossi stepping forward, the Stalkers blinking as well. Byun working the M's for all he's got. But right now, this game going to turn out more one-sided than a Mobius strip if he continues down this road. He's got Ghosts on the way, Vikings as well, both a little on the later side. He does have an armory, but hasn't started +2, while his herO has started +3 weapons to maximize that damage. Well, one Colossus stepping a little too far forward without that thermal lance getting sniped off. Byun looking for any opportunity he can get. The Colossi not doing so great against Marauders. Reinforcements have arrived. herO relying on Blink Stalkers to try to trade with this, but with that many medevacs, the Marauders will be driven back by the charge loss. But until there's extended thermal lance, suddenly Byun is turning it all around. And just as it looked like herO would be able to overrun Byun stands his ground, recognizes there wasn't enough in front, and actually manages to trade well. The worker counts are even. 2-2 starts. herO just now taking a 4th. A Widowmine going to be scouting that very closely. 2 Colossi. Yeah, right. 2 Colossi are manageable, as Byun has already showed. There's Ghosts. They have enhanced shock waves for that ridiculously large radius EMP. Blink Stalkers trying to knock down the Vikings. Down to 1 Viking against 3 Colossi. EMP lands across most of the sentries and a lot of the gateway units. Another EMP clears out the sentries. 1 Guardian Shield sniped off. Vikings doing work. Next to go, gateway units in front. 3 Colossi still standing tall. Marauders from the right flank. Drops on top. Dunking on the Colossi. Byun gets 2. He gets 3 for 3. Disruptor fired off to the side in frustration. And herO once again reset on the robotics count. The medevacs survive. The Stalkers just ain't gonna cut it. 4 Liberators at a time. Byun is carrying the momentum. And I think he's actually turned the tide now. herO was looking good. He held his 3rd solidly. He was building up Colossi, but Byun has shaved off enough of the edges that right now herO looks like he doesn't have much of one. Byun's got 4 bases. He's got 2-2 finishing up. The 4th base of herO, there's not that many probes. There's no Templar archives of any flavor. No Dark Shrine. The Bio army is still solid enough. Now more. Byun just working in. This is technically the correct army composition, such as is. Wow, Byun just stimming in. The Vikings coming to try to kill some probes. Couple disruptors make things interesting, but without Storm, herO, well, without Storm and without an overwhelming amount of gateway supply. Oh, the Vikings taken out. More Colossi on the way. Only 1 robotics facility for herO. herO's actually going to step forward, though. The supplies are even. It's 3-1 against 2-2, so similar in upgrades. That'll help the Colossi a lot. The Disruptors not so much. Be careful about going between a rock and a hard place here. There are some Liberators out there. In fact, the Liberator's moving in. 3 out of 4 Liberators Byun built. Going to kill some probes. Sieging all of them up on the 4th. Meanwhile, engaging the army. Working around the edges. 5 probes down. 6. Down to 62. herO feels obligated to attack. He fires off both Disruptor balls. EMP lands across the board. Bio armies from both sides. Colossi burning through a whole lot of the bio. Vikings come up to reinforce. More Stalkers on the way. The warping completes, but the Warp Prism is taken down. Colossi getting knocked over before they can do much against the bio. herO refocuses them. Critical mass of Bio Army is not here right now. The medevacs, not that much left to heal. Wait a second. With the SCVs, suddenly there's next to no gateway units. 26 SCVs went down, but herO's entire army is gone. 26 SCVs is not critical damage. That one Byun had another base mining. herO just lost so much gas. 6,000 gas, 55 Stalkers. have been lost throughout this match. Byun pumping out a dozen supply of bio. No, 16 supply of bio at a time. herO scrambling to put anything together. In that, base trading a Terran, no, that's not much of a base trade here. Byun kept his base. herO lost his army. That's in no way a base trade. That is not what a base trade is. Byun won the fight. And now it looks like he's very close to winning the game. Only one robotics wasn't enough. Just Colossi wasn't enough. 3 bases was not enough. Byun, you need overwhelming force and a strong hand to slap him down. Otherwise, well, game 1, I will be honest, and I am happy to say that I did not think Byun would turn that around. Now, herO's reliance on Blink Stalkers is dicey at best. But it did look like Byun was heading towards that standard trend of Terran players who continue to micro themselves into oblivion. But not this time. Not this time. Alright, so Byun fans out there, like and subscribe. That was the Byun that I think a lot of people have in their heads. The Byun who got Reapers nerfed twice and won the World Championship. The Byun whose medevac builds Diamond players still use to this day because it makes them feel like they're playing a real Terran game. Okay, so this is, I guess this is the trend, is the most low effort hidden Rex. Because technically if the probe just comes into the main, it won't scout this. Gumiho tried this as well. And it... Okay, well, put a pin in that one. As herO not too worried, not particularly worried about Byun having a hidden Rex. He's gonna... I'm getting some intense deja vu watching Gumiho lately. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this has become standard to just scout that corner. Like, fool me once, and I won't get fooled again. Say, the Protoss. And news travels fast in Korea. Honestly, I'm not sure who decided. Every once in a while, like, any player, any race, like, people will come up with new little tactics that crop up for, like, a week, and then they get figured out, and become a lot less effective. But one of those tactics that keeps getting thrown in to remarkable amounts of success, and this only works against good players. Why does proxying a gateway in your opponent's naturally work against good players? Because players who are liable to misclick or just be extra, quote, safe, they're gonna look around. They're gonna accidentally or intentionally look around the oh no.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Well, this isn't good. This is very bad. Byun right now built a Marine and then a reactor. I honestly am not sure how you handle this without seeing it first, especially if you go Marine first, because you have no hope of counter damage. This is about as bad as it gets. He's losing SCVs. He might finish the bunker. Oh, well, moving on. herO with a bit more of a committed strategy than Byun there. And we're all tied up. herO grabs one back. Nice and quick. Yeah, I think scouting the corner of your natural is going to have to become a pretty standard thing once again. If that happens to someone more than once a week is when they start doing it. So that... Lucky herO, no one had done that to Byun this week. That's where we are. It's one of those, like, I just got Cannon Rush last game, so I'll be checking there. And then you don't get Cannon Rush for 6 games, like, oh no. Oh, Byun. That SCV doesn't seem like it's scouting. Oh, it's NG Bay block? NG Bay block, yeah. The timing is off to Proxy Rex, but the timing is not off. I thought he was gonna just put a Rax out of spite. But the NG Bay block. How do you like it, Protoss players trying to expand? SCV trying to work its way around. It has to pray to RNGesus and the SCV gods to try to maximize the amount of HP you get on that engineering bay. It does come down essentially to random chance how well you do. Though you can hedge your bets by trying to reposition. So. Yep, that's the one. Alright, Byun. Go home. You're done here. You're done good. Come collect your bonus check. After we cancel the engineering bay, okay? After we get our refund. With a 25% restocking fee, of course. Byun is... Oh, yeah. Alright, this is more like locking the barn door after the barn warped in a stalker and killed you situation. But sure. As Byun diligently scouts around his base for proxy any variety of gates. Two Hellions on the way. Byun gonna try to take advantage of a lack of tech in production. When you go for a Zealot first, it both delays your Nexus. Well, an engineering bay delays your Nexus. And then it does delay any sort of follow-up. Not by much. And we're on Beckett Industries, so nothing is particularly delayed. Which actually is a little concerning. herO did see it. Alright, he saw the reactored Hellions. Or at least the reactored factory. So, with Phoenixes on the way, enough Adepts, it looks like herO's kind of prepared for this. Oh, I thought he was just going to fly right by. Well, 3 Hellions is the danger number. If it's less than 3, it can be negated. But 3 Hellions is how many it takes to kill probes in a single valley. And 3 Hellions is not the number that will make it into the main. Yeah, I think herO with the Stargate choice on top of the scout on the reactor is more than enough. So Byun not finding success with the follow-up to the NG Bay block. Maybe finding success with Widowmine. The WLA actually sped well. It's probably a good thing the Phoenix didn't get hit. Because 2 Adepts are taken out by mines. But the WLA actually sped the Phoenix up so much, they couldn't lock onto it in time. Which is a surprising and interesting exchange. Because it takes about 1 point... it was originally 1.5, I think like 1.1 real-time seconds to lock on. Which is longer than it takes for a Zergling to run directly by a Widowmine, for reference. So that is why sometimes you'll see the Widowmine desperately trying to get a lock. No armory, but 4 mines right now in the medevac. More dropping out. Does he have the energy? herO is handling it perfectly fine. Whoa, okay. Byun has now lost every factory and starport unit he's built so far. Back at home, he's got Vikings. He's got some Widow Mines that he's kept here, but... Whoa. One Widow Mine gonna connect, but also gonna splash into the Vikings. He picks it up, a couple more coming out. Easily gets one, gets both. And now this is... Honestly, this gives me some flashbacks as a Zerg. Like, you're just sitting here. There's not really, at this stage, anything Byun can do to stop this. It's just very uncomfortable. There's no... It's just not gone right. Everything's gone horribly... Like, it's not gone horribly wrong, but it's gone significantly wrong. So, like, Byun doesn't GG here, but... he just gets poked and prodded. Oh, come on. Well, none of these are GG level damage. It's like boiling in it's a slowly boiling pot of water right now, where it's so little damage each time. But eventually you realize, oh, wait a second, I have no units, and they have 4 bases and are maxed out. It's kind of getting there. herO is now up 10 workers. He's obviously got a lot of map control here. Now the last question will be about splash damage. Like, Byun now has 3 racks, going on 3 CCs. He's building up Stim, Combat Shield, +1, Medivacs. At some point, the Phoenixes won't... Oh, no. Okay. Well, this is a little cathartic for Protoss, who died of Widow Mines, but 11 mines picked off now. Will he pull the boys? One Widow Mine scampers across. Gonna see a completed third. This is... What am I watching? Okay. Well... Byun adding on a Ghost Academy. There's no... I mean... If he... The closer he gets towards 200 supply at this point... It does seem like Byun will not have an opportunity to move out. herO, in fact, is not going to let this go on. He's built up 9 gateways. He's got +1 armor. He's got charge. Looks like he's looking to knock Byun out right here, right now. Mines burrowed, not finding a ton of damage. SCVs pulled. Marines tucked into the only corner they can find. Even if Byun... Yeah, well... Well... And here we are. Well, the engineering bay was a cheeky move. And it all went downhill from there. Game 4 of the Into the Clan and Alpha X Pro Series. I'm not sure which number this is, but here we are. More good games for the fans, such as they are. Oh, that was a couple rough games for Byun after an epic game 1. Byun is very good at winning and losing dramatically and emotionally. It all rides on the momentum, and with that proxy gate, The momentum shifted significantly. Byun going for another NG Bay block. Another probe headed out, which is... That's pretty sus. The probe on the way. That probe does not have passive intentions in mind. No one sends a second probe out at this time thinking, I'm just getting an extra scout, bro. I don't think so. So Byun literally cancels the engineering bay at the last possible second. Doesn't want to have to pay the delivery fee. Wants to be able to cancel it. Yeah, 2 gases, 1 pylon in the main. No attempt to expand. Byun will figure it out. He knows. Building extra marines instead of slapping down a reactor. In fact, it looks like herO, upon realizing that Byun will scout so diligently, actually isn't going to proxy the Stargate. And, yeah, the SCV does scout it. He realizes that not seeing something is sometimes almost as much information as seeing it. As he's able to put it all together. herO was thinking about a proxy Stargate robo, not sure. But those plans are foiled. Byun, not convinced he's found everything. We, of course, know he has. But it could still be something out on the map. A decoy pylon. More dramatic and ridiculous things have been done before. By an order of magnitude. Byun gonna scout for the secondary natural at the 3rd. As it does take a long time for the adepts to get through the NG Bay block. Mag Field Accelerator was started by Byun, but he decided to cancel it. I think he's realizing now that he's not dealing with a 1-base all-in. He's not dealing like Warp Prism, Void Ray. He's dealing with an expansion, some adepts, phoenixes, nothing the Mag Field Accelerator is going to be good against. It only does extra damage to armored. And buildings plus stalkers and void rays fall under that category, but phoenixes and adepts not so much. A little risky to send the cyclone out on its own, as phoenixes are hunting. I think hero's a little, like, herO, I think, is caught a little off guard. Well, would have been caught off guard by the fact that cyclone was alone. Phoenix is coming back in, a little bit reminiscent of the previous match. Not that much anti-air to deal with them. Oh, there goes the SCV. Eventually, the adepts will work their way through the NG Bay. Force the cancel, or just kill it. Now, Byun says it's time. herO, I think, adapting well here. He's got a Twilight Council. He's got more gates on the way. He's going to be able to build up a ground army. Byun is showing the 1-1-1. He's expanded. Both players have the majority of the information that they're... Okay, 2 Twilight Councils. Wait, whoa. The council is in session. herO really wants a Twilight Council. Maybe a little too much. No, he's obviously going for the charge blink build. When you get a whole lot of upgrades for gateway units and very few of those units. I want to go to the herO cam. herO... The herO canceled charge. I think, like, he hurt himself in his confusion. He canceled charge and restarted it upon staring at the Twilight Councils for several seconds. Yeah, I mean, like, he was looking for the charge back button. But herO doesn't stream enough to worry too much about that. Maybe the other council was trying to secure the contract, but the first one. Well, first come, first serve, it seems here. Not a huge issue in the grand scheme of things. At most levels of StarCraft, an extra Twilight Council or something not going to make a huge difference. But at this level, with games as thin as these, that extra 150, 100, as well as the fact hero's like, oh my god, obviously confused as to what has happened for a second there. That can't help either. Well, looks like another proxy pylon at Byun's third. The Phoenixes have continued to work away around the edges, not getting nearly as much damage. In fact, it looks like hero's going to go for just a big charge lot all in. He's really trying to delay the wall, though at this point I think he can assume it is going to be a wall. If he could get any Widow Mines or a tank or even that Raven. Whoa. 6 more charge lots being warped in. That is the... Well, actually, he's up to 8, going on 9 gateways. Only 36 probes for herO. He's all in right now. He's gambling on this. Stim is still about 15 seconds out. hero's not going. If he waits for Stim and 2 medevacs, obviously he's not doing it intentionally, but if he waits until there are Stim and 2 medevacs, Byun's chances of actually holding this go up drastically. The Raven, though, is moving out to do some counter damages. Byun is just kind of assuming here's taking a third, probably going for a robo, teching up, you know, maybe getting a robo bay. No, hero's building a whole bunch of charge lots. Oh, Byun scans the double Twilight. What will that do? He picks up into a medevac. So, yeah, everything in hero's base does kind of look like it's going to be a relatively standard macro. He's really holding on to this. 29 charge lots. Byun forces the recall. The Phoenix is out here. Byun's gonna see no natural. He had auto turrets queued up. He's like, oh no, whoa, 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 whoa. Get back inside. Get back inside. Oh my god. Everyone. Oh. Wait, no, that one medevac though. Everyone, heroes dancing. The dance of death. Understanding that being walled off is the best defense against a bunch of advanced aliens with melee weapons. herO accepts defeat as the wall off is going to whittle down. Just doesn't even bother. And we're all tied up. A dramatic death, but a death nonetheless. And that does bring us to Game 5 of this match. The ace match. herO really, he was very... I think he held on to it a little too long. Like, there was a pretty large window where the charge lots could do damage. But then he just kind of... He looked out the window. Someone came up to the window, was like, hey, you gonna attack? And he's like, no, I'm good. And then... I prefer dancing. I can dance if I want to. I can leave my friends behind. Because my friends on Battle.net, yes, they're on Battle.net. They lower my FPS in-game. So we've deleted our friends on Battle.net. Yes, that was an actual issue. They said they fixed it. I still don't trust it. And also, it's StarCraft. Who needs friends? Anyways, time for a quick advertisement. And we'll be right back as we get to match point. Thank you for watching. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Winter, and I'm here to talk to you all about Prime Gaming. Yes, right now we might be in service to our overlords, our Google overlords, on YouTube, but may I interest you in Prime Gaming? Amazon Prime. Since we don't have everything yet, we'll do the next best thing. If you enjoy gaming, and I have it on good authority, and your data that you do, you might be interested in Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming. Have I said Prime Gaming in how many? 10 times? Prime Gaming. Okay. When Amazon bought Twitch several years ago, it shit out Prime Gaming. And we're so excited to have loot for mobile games that are designed to get you addicted, and occasionally the ability to sub to a streamer of your choice. And while I might not be your first choice, I am a choice. So twitch.tv/wintergaming every month to sub for free. And remember, every moment you don't, you're losing money for me. So subscribe with Prime Gaming. You have nothing to lose. And remember, at Amazon Prime, we know where you live. But wait, there's more! If you're on YouTube right now, remember to smash that like button and subscribe. It's different and confusing. But on YouTube, it's absolutely free. And you can leave a comment about how much you enjoy watching these players, about how Protoss is broken and has been ever since the last time you played Starcraft in 2012. And now I would play, but I'm just so busy and I've got so many things. I like watching you, Winter, but sometimes I think it's a little enough. Thank you guys for sticking around. The Into the Clan and Alpha X Pro Series, where we get the best of the best together. And have them play StarCraft. It's pretty simple. You know how this works. We got one more match, assuming it's not a draw, between these two. That's Jimmy! In the top left, light shade, we got Shopify Rebellion's Byun. And the bottom right, Dragon Phoenix Gaming's herO. A dynamic. Dynamic, that's one of those good words. Best of 5 so far. And by that I mean, we had one back and forth macro match. Byun, by the skin of his heavily microed teeth, was able to take it, and then they've tried cheesing each other a bunch. And so far, both with medium success. Game 5. Did he just, was that checking for a cannon rush? Byun? I'm not sure. Maybe he was trying to go down. What did you see? Oh, he was blocking the probe scout with a temporary depot, which he then cancels in order to get a command center and then rebuilds. I mean, he's trying to sell the idea that this is some sort of like proxy factory, some sort of heavy tech play, denying a scout. herO has done an advanced counter to this, which is not scouting. Pulling a page out of the Terran book of feeling elitist about things and just not scouting and saying, well, whatever. As Byun continues to vary. Ever since that proxy gate traumatized him on Romanticide, it looks like he'll be scouting with great vigor. All throughout all the places proxy gates could be. Unfortunately for him, herO has ignored all of it. He has decided just to, he's gonna go, looks like Blink. There's a hint of DTs. Smells like deets, actually. This early, no scout. Couple stalkers. I guess, well, they're both on the table. We'll see. It is Blink immediately. Does not preclude the Dark Templar, but we'll be opening up with about as quick as you can on the Blink. Byun going for the 1-Rax expand, but holding it in his main until the orbital finishes. Neither player has technically confirmed their opponent is not AFK. As neither player has scouted across the map nor seen an enemy unit. Of course, they can go ahead and assume that they're building up. I'm interested to see when they actually see each other for the first time. hero's just going to take a third. Byun, even before 4 minutes. Very quick. Byun adding on a Widow Mine. Does he slap a reactor? No, he's going to go for a medevac right off the bat. Getting +1 before stim or combat shield. Does he just get concussive? It looks like he wants to put on some very early pressure and then follow up with a bigger biotiming, which would be a very Byun way to go about things. Start stim. Okay. It looks like the first acknowledgement that other players are in the game will be coming out. An observer out of herO. Medevac, Widow Mine drop for Byun. Observer, does he have the energy for a scan? Not quite. The observer should be able to get most of the info. He's going to see the Marine count already. Scanned immediately as he has the energy, but herO was paying attention. This Widow Mine drop is not going to work. Oh, it's very not working. Yeah, herO was fully prepared, exactly where the observer needed to be. So, that is slap down with all hands and little claws that the Widow Mines have. Byun's early attempt at damage is not going to happen. herO has been allowed now to... He's put on no pressure to Byun. He's built 55 probes. That appears to be the number right now. Going up to 8 gates. Getting charge. He's very heavy on the charge line. He loves his charge lots. And why not? He tried Stalker Colossus in game 1. And I think... Oh, Byun snipes another observer. He tried Stalker Colossus in game 1 and it didn't really suit him. Colossi, a little too fancy. A little too brittle. Whereas the brute force of charge lots is oftentimes a more viable solution, especially against someone as micro-heavy as Byun. You just flood them with charge lots until they can't actually micro out of anything. So right now, gets a Widow Mine. Byun, and Mortals are being produced as well. +1 on the way. Alright, things going to get a little more dramatic now. As the Warp Prism heads to the main, not very many reinforcements here. A couple Widow Mines back at home. Byun turning around for a second, caught off guard by one of the oldest tricks in the Protoss book. And then a bunch more charge lots warping and great Widow Mine hits, but the SCVs are forced to fight. Byun stimming in, gonna find the shield battery, down for the count. He slurps up behind the force field, dropping out. There's not enough units here. Still one pylon behind enemy lines. Warp Prism. Well, not really behind enemy lines. Within his own lines for herO. Byun forced back. He lost 19 SCVs at home. And he didn't really do anything but superficial damage to herO. So just like that, Byun is down 30 supply. He has to cancel his third command center. The best he can hope for is herO overcommitting to a fight. The stim addicts are a bit of a problem. He actually does get a chunk of charge lots here. Behind this, though, herO can continue warping in. The Warp Prism is a valuable addition. The force fields... Byun just can't afford to continue producing everything he needs to. He can't get upgrades, a third command center. Some of his SCVs just hanging out in the main, traumatized by the damage earlier. I don't think there's enough energy for Guardian Shield. Maybe just barely. No Guardian Shield. That means the Marines and Marauders are going to be doing full damage. Charge lots filing through. Nothing to take out the Prism as another round of charge lots warp in, and herO locks it down 3-2. Byun not able to stop the tide. herO with the undercutting prism. And Byun leaning heavily on the Marine Marauder medevac mine. Unfortunately, crumbles with it. But not a surprising series to see out of these two. An exciting one. I think Byun will be scouting that location on Romanticide and other maps, apparently, very diligently, as that may have decided things. Unfortunately, not coming up with an original counter to the mass charge lot style. I was hoping, maybe, but not today. But hopefully you enjoyed this Into the Clan and Alpha X Pro series match between these two. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, ring the bell. Check out these mediocre videos. Thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun. Stay chill.